So this is the OPPO Reno 10x zoom, and today we'll be doing a quick unboxing. On the front of the box, we can see the triple camera setup of the phone outlined prominently. And one thing to note before we open this box is that it is extremely tall and slender, which is kind of a unique thing, and I actually dig it. So now that we're inside, we can see the OPPO Reno branding here. And inside, underneath it, we can see the phone and also the OPPO logo. And on the front of the phone, we can see that there are some specifications listed, but let's go ahead and save the phone for last and see what is underneath. So once we peel up the inner cover, we can see that there is a protective shell and a USB cable. And these two things are actually very important. One, because this is a proprietary charging cable for VOOC 3.0. If you do not have this, you cannot get the expedited charging speed. Next, let's move on to the SIM ejector tool. And this is quite common, nothing special here. As mentioned before, this is a protective case for the Reno 10x zoom. And what makes it unique is the cutout on the top, which I believe is for the front facing camera, which is activated with the pivot rising mechanism. Here's a closer look at the inside of the case, and as you can see, it is lined with felt, which is very soft and should protect the glass back of the phone itself. And then we also have the AC adapter here. This one is compatible with VOOC charging, and if you are unfamiliar with VOOC, it is a proprietary charging method that OPPO has created and allows you to charge much faster than your standard charger or even a quick charge solution. Also included in the box are some fancy looking USB Type-C headphones, and as you can see here, they are color matched with the phone itself, and this is the ocean green color. One thing to note before moving on is that there is no 3.5mm adapter inside of the box. And lastly, before we look at the phone, there are some various pamphlets inside of the box. Now finally, this is the OPPO Reno 10x zoom, and as you can see, it is kind of like a normal phone, but when you get to the rear, there is a nice matte glass gradient, and you can see that it shimmers, but it also has a matte texture, and in hand it actually feels quite smooth but not slippery to the touch. OPPO has done a good job of creating contrast here. It is one piece of glass, so in order to create a clear area for the camera lenses, they had to do a special polishing treatment in that area. Below the triple camera setup, we can see the O dot, and the O dot looks kind of like a jewel, but its main purpose is to elevate the phone when placed on a flat surface in order to prevent scratching. Mind you, the back isn't fragile, it is made from Corning's Gorilla Glass 6. One important attribute that makes the 10x zoom special is its hybrid zoom feature that will allow you to punch in up to 10 times. Now on the rear, there is a 84 megapixel standard camera, a 8 megapixel wide angle camera, and a 13 megapixel telephoto. There are a lot of other neat tricks when it comes to software, but night mode is probably going to be the most important for most. Now, as far as specification goes, this model has a Snapdragon 855 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 gigabytes of internal storage. There is also a USB Type-C port, dual speakers, an in-display fingerprint reader, and a large 6.6-inch 1080p AMOLED display, which does not have any notches or cutouts, giving this phone a screen-to-body ratio of 93.1%. This concludes the unboxing of the OPPO Reno 10x zoom. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, you can always leave them down below. And if you'd like to get a more in-depth look and first impressions, you can go ahead and hit the link in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one.